If you are in your 20s, there's one thing you can do to get yourself financially ahead of everyone else. And that one thing is action. A lot of people in their early 20s, throughout their 20s, I remember when I was 23, I bought my first home and all my friends, they were all talking about like things they're going to do to get ahead, make money. Maybe they'll start investing in the future. Maybe they'll start some business. Maybe they'll do this. Maybe they'll do that. A lot of them didn't put it in action. A lot of them just got a job and they were working and making paycheck to paycheck, and a lot still are. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're someone who wants to get ahead financially in life, action is what makes the difference. And what action can you take to get ahead? So, the number one thing that I would recommend to anyone in their 20s, just starting out, don't get a rental. Buy a condo, buy a small starter home, or buy a multifamily property. When you buy a condo, it's going to be less expensive than the average home. If you buy a smaller home, it'll be less expensive than the average home. If you buy a multifamily, you can collect rent as time goes on. So if you go and you can buy up to a 4-unit property, FHA, conventional, no problem, with as little as 3.5% to 5% down. So if you were to buy a 4-unit for, say, $500,000 in southern Maine, average rent, you rent it out for about $2,000 per month. Your payments around $2,800, $3,000 a month. You've got 4 units. You live in one of them. You're collecting $6,000 a month in rent, living for free. Now, there are other expenses, of course, that you'll have to account for. You've got taxes and insurance, which will be part of your mortgage if you buy it with a FHA or conventional loan, unless you choose not to escrow in the conventional loan. You'll also have maintenance of the building, plowing, stuff like that. However, you're going to be living for free and you're going to be netting money every single month, barring anything catastrophic happening to the property. With that said, if you're in your early 20s, you're just starting out, you buy the multifamily or you buy a condo and you keep your expenses low. That's better than renting and paying somebody else's mortgage and helping somebody else get yourself ahead. So you buy that condo, you buy that small home, you buy the multifamily. Fast forward, 5-6 years, you're getting ready to get your first, real house that you want to move to, the house you've been looking for. The next step from there is you either sell the starter home and you collect all the appreciation over the last 5 or 6 years, or you keep the starter home, you keep the condo, you keep the multi-unit, and now you collect rent for that additional 4th unit or for that condo or for that single family home. And that will offset the cost of keeping that property while you continue to grow equity in that property, as well as offset some of the cost of your mortgage. Or if you choose the multifamily route, which is the route I would take if I were to start all over again, that 4th unit now rented out should pay your mortgage for the home you buy. So if you're in your early 20s and you're just starting out, don't throw away your money. Get a mortgage, buy your first property. If you're not sure where you want to be long term, that's okay. If you sign a year-long lease, you're going to be in that lease for a year anyway. So why not buy a home and be in that home for a year anyway? And then you have an asset that you can rent out. Now, the thing is, too, every single year, real estate tends to appreciate. Over the long run, real estate appreciates on average about 5% per year. And that's a compounding 5%. Now, values compound that 5%, but so rates go up, or rent goes up as well every single year. So if you buy a multi-unit now and the numbers work, they're only going to work better each and every year, because as time goes on, as your renters move out, you'll increase the amount of rent naturally, with the increasing cost for market rate rent, and your mortgage expense stays the same. Your taxes will go up a little bit, your insurance will go up a little bit, but the rent's going to go up more, so you're going to net more money as time goes on. So that's going to also help increase the value of your home. So whether you're going to be there for the long term or not, buying your home makes a lot of sense if you can keep it and rent it out long term, if you decide that's not where you want to be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. Or you could always sell it. and net some money for a down payment for your next property. I'm 37. I've owned 6 houses myself. I bought my first house at 23 years old. I've never regretted a single home I've bought. And every time I've made a purchase, it's been a step up to a new house. I've netted money, a good amount of money off the home I've sold. And I've created a spot now where I'm mortgage free at 37. With that said, a lot of my friends still have 15, 20 years left in their mortgage. I've got friends that still haven't even bought a house yet. So time really does go pretty fast. Do you want to be 40 and just starting out buying your first home? Not that there's anything wrong with it. If you're 40 years old and you're buying your first home, that's awesome. Hell yeah, buy it. It's the biggest financial decision you're going to make. It's the best decision you can make. But if you're in your 20s and you can get ahead now and you can be close to mortgage free or 10 years left on your mortgage at 40, that's going to feel a lot better. You're going to feel pretty good about that. So don't wait. Put into action now. The difference between a goal and a wish is action. So if you're in your 20s, you want to get into the real estate market, there's no better time than right now. I don't care when it is, it's right now. So please get in touch with me. I've got an agent at PRG that's ready to help you find your first asset and start the house hunt with you. Give me a call at 207-776-2130. If you find value in this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. See you around.